My relationship with Sancta Maria began 9 years ago. My father had multiple strokes, and we as a family had to make a decision where we were going to put him. And at first, we were concerned about finding a safe place, something that was close to our homes, and I came and looked at Sancta Maria. I immediately loved the fact that there was a religious foundation here for my dad and for my mom, because that was very important. Their devotion and faith was very important to them. And knowing that they had Sister Mark, Sister Lucille, Sister Teresa, daily Mass, other prayer services, was a big component that led to the decision of placing Dad here. He was here for 7 years before he passed, and he had the most responsible and caring staff working with him. And what I've witnessed here over the last 9 years, because my mother is now a permanent resident here as of a year ago, I think about Sister Mark and Sister Lucille and Sister Teresa because they're the ones that brought that religious component to the community here. And you witness it every day in Mass when you see the faces of the patients, the joy and the peace that it brings to their daily life, as it brought to my mom and dad for the years that Dad was alive here. I have bonded with many of the departments here because I'm here on a daily basis. And if I can give an example, for example, my mother was an outpatient prior. She would come for 7 years, go to Mass every day with my dad, sit with my dad. And she had to start dialysis here on the first floor. So I teach, and I was a little nervous about Mom going home with the ride because she has to take heart medication. Peg in the office. Every single time Mom had dialysis, she would wait for Mom to finish, come out, bring her water, and make sure she took her heart pill. That sort of comfort is just, it goes above and beyond a spirit of dedication. You see that everywhere. In food services, I can walk in after Mom has had dialysis and ask them to make her just maybe scrambled eggs, something different than what's on the menu, and they do it with great joy. They'll say, don't worry, we'll take care of her. We know what she likes to eat, and we'll bring it up. One funny thing was my father, after multiple strokes, my husband and I would work with him every night in the lobby here, and we'd just take a tennis ball and throw it back and forth just to get Dad to get more strength because we had to develop his left side. And Sister Mark would be working in the office, and my father and Sister Mark had a great affinity for one another and great sense of respect and love. And she would come out at night and obviously walk over to the convent. And he was in a wheelchair and he couldn't stand at that time on his own. And his speech was impaired. And he would get upset with my husband if my husband didn't jump up right away, and he'd say, walk her home, you know. And it was that level of care. They'd say goodnight to each other. And I could go home and feel my dad is safe, he's cared for, you know, he's being taken care of. And that's a great feeling. When my dad passed, in his obituary, I asked that any donations would go to Sancta Maria because I knew this is where Dad felt he was at home. And so it was important. But I think just the proximity here in Cambridge, it's easy to get to, makes it a great place to be.